Hey, long time no see. My name is Abe Oof and welcome to my channel. Today we're doing something we've done the past couple years on this channel, for better or for worse, called Holiday Tier List thing with Christmas. I don't know. We've done movies, we've done music, and the logical progression from there is food. So we're doing food. I really have not planned this out too much. I just wanted to do something because I don't know if you've noticed this. I haven't made a lot of videos recently because education. But I digress. Let's get into it. So this is the candy and snack tier list. At my household, at least, we would set up grazing tables, so we would have dinner and all this stuff out at the same time. One thing you'll notice is a lot of this candy is peppermint or white chocolate, which isn't even chocolate. Don't get me started. But that seems to be the general kind of Christmas spin they put on stuff for whatever reason. So if you like peppermint, you love this time of year. But if you don't, you probably hate it. So the first thing we got is the Andes chocolate mints. Now these are good. You go to any close upper tier fine dining place in the South, they probably have these at the counter when you check out, either for sale or they just give you some. So we're gonna put the Andes mints at A. We might go back and change that, but that's what I feel confident with right now. So we got the Reese's Bells, which are just Reese's, but they're bell shaped, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta give that an A just because it's Reese's, but I'm not gonna give it an S because I don't think it really did anything Christmassy. It just made it bell shaped. So we got the Brock's Candy Cane Candy Corn. That should be illegal. So we're gonna put that in D. So we got the Caramel Santa, the chocolate caramel Santa. I don't think it does anything too crazy. I like it. I think it's solid. We're gonna give that a solid C, but we can always move it up. Uh-oh. We have a guest judge for this tier list. We have Miss Phoebe. Next up, if my eyesight has not failed me, which it could have, is the chocolate covered cherries. Now, these are kind of controversial because some people really hate cherries. I find that surprising, but there is a certain syrupy quality that comes with a lot of candy that has cherries in it that reminds people of cough syrup. So out of respect to that, personally I like them, but I can understand the complaints. I'll give it a C. Chocolate coins, these suck, okay? These are made with the worst chocolate, and on paper you're like, it's chocolate money. That's fantastic, and you'd be wrong. So it's a D. We got the orange. Now, I personally have never had one of these, so I have to kind of infer about what I think it would taste like. I'm assuming it's chocolate covered orange slices, but they're candied orange, and that sounds good. And obviously it's kind of a delicacy because it is a limited quantity and it's probably expensive. So I'm gonna give this a C just because I don't want to offend anyone, but I haven't had it, so I can't make an informed call. So peppermint candy canes, I think they're solid. I'm gonna give them a B just for the general sense that I like them, but that is, as usual, subject to change. So we're on to the peppermint bark category. The Ghirardelli white chocolate, whatever, is basically just peppermint bark. I like them. I think they're good with coffee or hot chocolate. I'm gonna give them a B because they're my favorite type of peppermint bark, but there are other options out there, and that looks to be like the dark chocolate version, so that reaffirms what I'm going with a B because those are usually what I get. Next up is gingerbread cookies. They're some of my favorites. I'm going to give this a solid A just for nostalgia of making them. Next up, we got some form of chocolate stuffed with stuff. You can't really go too wrong with that, but I don't think I've ever had those, so I'm going to give it a C. Next up is gumdrops. I like them. I think people give them a hard rap, but you have to like gummies. I'm going to give this a C just because it's nothing special and I don't go out of my way to eat them. The Hershey's white chocolate peppermint bark, I don't really like. I think it's a little bit, I don't know, it just doesn't do it doesn't do it for me. I'm gonna give that a D. Just because I feel like it, okay? Just because I feel like it. Gingerbread Oreos, I've tried some of the cake Oreos where it's like carrot cake, red velvet. Those are solid. In my mind, it sounds like a good idea to put gingerbread with Oreos, but it would be incredibly rich to try to eat. So I'm gonna go with B. Okay, so we have the Crunch Bells, which are just crunch, but bell shaped, kind of like the Reese's. I'm gonna go with a B on this because I like crunch, but they're usually always the ones that are like left when you get the variety pack. But I usually try to eat them. I don't know. I like the texture. Junior Mint's Peppermint Crunch. It just seems a little bit redundant. Okay, you get Peppermint Crunch on a Junior Mint. That's not good. We're gonna give that a D. A lot of people don't like white chocolate because they're like, it's not chocolate. And there's a certain flavor that comes with that where it just feels fake, right? You feel like you're eating something really unhealthy, and you are. You really are. It's not good for you. But Hershey's does it in a way where they put it in these bite-sized forms, and it's the Hershey's Kiss, but it's peppermint and white chocolate, and that's good. It's better than the bar by like pounds because it's bite-sized. You get a bar, you're like, oh, I gotta share this. I gotta eat all of this. It's too much. But if you can just go by and pick up a little bit of peppermint bliss, then go for it. So I'm gonna give this an A. Now, that makes no sense considering I gave the Hershey's bar a D, but just, I don't care. I don't care. That's how I feel. So the Lifesavers, I think that's just regular Lifesavers. Nothing wrong with that, but if I'm taking into account what it has done to make it Christmassy, that is a poor attempt. So I'm gonna give it a B. Okay, we got another one of chocolate covered something. I think this is another cherry type candy. Just for consistency's sake, I'm gonna put it with the other ones. I'm gonna give it a C, just because I'll probably like it. I don't see why I wouldn't, but it's still cherry. I honestly have no clue what this next candy is. I'm gonna go based off of context clues and what I can see, and it has Santa's, and the coloration makes me think that it's somehow marshmallow related, and I'm not a huge fan of that. I think marshmallow and chocolate sounds good on paper, but texturally, it doesn't do a whole lot for me. So I'm gonna give this a D out of spite. I gotta keep it consistent with the other Hershey's bar, I guess. We got mint Kit Kats. I'm not a huge fan of these. I feel like you're ruining something that's already good by adding the mint. I'm gonna have to give these a D just because I don't think it improves upon the base Kit Kat. So this is one of those candy canes where it's filled with candy. It either has M&Ms or it has Hershey Kisses in it. I cannot tell. Either way, I like these just because of the premise of putting candy in a candy cane. It's not anything special. It's not doing anything. I'll give it a C just because I like the packaging, which I know I docked the last one for, but this okay, this is non-alcoholic eggnog, so I gotta give this a C at best. The packaging for the next one says Christmas Nougats. I don't know what that means. I've never had these. It doesn't look good because it's also by Brock's, which made the terrible candy corn, and so I'm assuming that means it's just candy corn. That's like all they make. I don't see how it would be anything different, so I'm gonna give it a D. Next up is what looks to be Christmas Peeps, which is marshmallow. Texturally, not a fan. I don't get the appeal of Peeps and stuff like this. Like, I'll give it a C to be nice. Next up is the Andes Peppermint Bark. It is better than Hershey's attempt, but not by much. So I'll give it a C. Give it a C. We'll go with that. And now we have the normal chocolate version of the Ghirardelli Peppermint Bark, which I think is about the same as the Andes. Okay, so we got M&Ms. We got the Christmas M&Ms, which I forget whether or not it actually does anything or if it's just the packaging. I think they have mint flavor. I vaguely remember mint flavor. I've had it a couple of times, so I'll give it a C. I'm not gonna rank it too high. We got white chocolate covered pretzels. Those are a snack that I do seek out because you get the salty, you get the sweet, and there's something that you can just keep eating and it doesn't really fill you up that quick. I'm gonna have to give these an A just because it's fantastic. So we got the Reese's that's a tree, but it's just the same as the Reese's that's a bell, except it's in tree form, which is fine. I mean, it's still Reese's, that's why I gave the original one an A, but I don't think I can do that again. I think I have to rank it down a tier just out of spite. And then we got the Reese's miniatures. We just went through this, okay? It is not okay just to make different shapes of the same candy. It works. It works really well, and you won't trick me any longer, VCs. I'm giving this a C. You keep going, you'll be all the way down in D, okay? I have no clue what these are called. Little sugary, wavy things, but the texture is amazing. I'm gonna give this an S just because I have no clue what it is, but I love it. The Santa chocolates are the same dilemma as the coin chocolates. It's like, oh great, we get to eat the head of Santa. That sounds fantastic on paper. Everyone can agree to that, but it's cheap chocolate and it's not good. So we got Sprite Cranberry. I did not realize this when I was ranking the eggnog, but that's a drink too. And this is a drink, so it's kind of skirting around the whole food thing we're going for, but I don't think it's an egregious change to Sprite. I just don't think it improves it. So I'm gonna have to give it a C. I know that's gonna make LeBron fans really upset, really mad at me, but it's okay. I'll deal with the ramifications. Now these are underrated. Everyone knocks these, right? These were the best. I'm gonna have to give this an A. Next up, we got Toblerone. I've only had this a couple times. It's okay. I mean, there's a reason you don't see people walking around just carrying Toblerones, Toblerones. I don't know. We're gonna put in B. Got Tootsie Pops that are peppermint, so I'm gonna put it in D. That just doesn't. It just ruins the original Tootsie Pop. Christmas tree cakes. This is another one of those where when you eat it, you know it's not right. You know it's a crime against nature. You know it probably shouldn't exist. But it tastes really good. It tastes so good. It's the best thing I've ever eaten. So I'm going to give it an S. Now, these sugar cookies, I think, are a little bit misleading. I think it's one of those, it's a simple thing to bake with friends. So if you're hanging out and you're like, oh, let's make some Christmas cookies, you just slap them on a sheet, throw it in the oven, you got sugar cookies. And they're good, right? I'm not a huge fan of the tougher cookie. They're not as chewy as I'd want them to be because they're so small. But I don't think they're terrible. They're kind of hard to mess up. If you burn them, it's not that big a deal. Just make some more. Because of that, I'm going to have to give it a B. I know some people really love these, but they're just not my go-to at all. So that about wraps up the tier list for this year. You know, we've kind of zoomed through it. Last year was kind of daunting with the music. I did not get through all of that. I kind of cheated, but it's okay. It's okay. This year, I did it. It was manageable, and I hope that you disagree with everything that I said in this video, so you comment how much you hate me. Looking forward into 2023, I've got a lot of video ideas I want to do. I've just been busy with school. I'm kind of in that home stretch before I graduate, so that's just kind of taken the lead in my life, priority-wise. But I am going to try to do some more stuff like this in front of a camera. I got some sketch ideas I'm working on for TikTok that will also upload to Shorts. I've been doing that. Those have been doing well, thankfully. But the best place you can find me is actually on Twitch, twitch.tv/AbeOof. I stream there in my free time because it's easy for me to sit down and just stream for an hour or two. And it's a great way for me to engage with people that like my stuff. So if you like this, you'll like me there. Maybe you might say, okay, that's too much. I hate him now. And then you can let me know. You can let me know. I hope everyone has a fantastic holiday season regardless of what you celebrate and what food you eat. If it's nothing on this, let me know, because I have very limited holiday food experience. So let me know what is your favorite food to eat over the holidays, and I will see you whenever I get around to making another video. My name is AbeOof, and I'm now Abe off.